side. Then we've got Ralph Martin and Ollie West. Ollie doing double duties, as we've mentioned there, also out in the petrol-engined cars. We might have to have a word with Ollie tonight and tell him and ask him
what's the main differences
exactly
around
the
here.
Differences. Yeah. Heath Smith and Junior Wright are next up on row 3. Row 4 is Jack Harper and Eva Garrett. Maxamilians Michaelski and Arthur Thompson are next. Then we've got Hugo Williams, Jenson, James Williams, Frank Pearson, Etienne Gardner, Nico Mohan, Hadley Jarvis, Arthur Bath, Kai Ergensoy, Christian Doshi and Henry Hales is the last of our 20 karts in the MightE electric karts. It hasn't gone quiet, everybody. It's just these karts, the only noise coming from them on track is the sound of the tyres on the track.
And you can hear the tyres squeal, which is, at first, it's a strange sensation to get used to, but the lights are out. We're off and racing. And Felix,
Tandy.
Yeah, Felix has gone off like a cat on a hot tin roof.
Yes.
And up in the second place, Ralph Martin in the black crash helmet, number 32.
Same as last one, wasn't it?
Very
exactly
good
the
start
same,
as well.
Exactly the same as Heat 1. Felix Tandy got away. Ralph Martin made a great start. And these karts really do pull away massively quick off the line as they go. Oh, and there's into that over the brow of the hill and into Spoon. Tandy under pressure early this time. He had at least a couple of laps before he had to worry about somebody on his bumper. But this time, Ralph Martin now pressuring down the inside, and Tandy being ushered to the outside somewhat.
Yep, and he's got to be careful he doesn't lose any more positions. But, good move there from Ralph Martin, just to set up the race leader going into the first half of the carousel. And he was just able to get to the inside. And, there's wheel-to-wheel dicing, a bit of a territorial dispute there.
These karts are so narrow, they can go too wide through parts of the track that no one else can.
Yes. And the drivers, again, just starting out, 6, 7 years old, they don't know any different. They're like, well, there's a bit of tarmac there, I'm trying to put my go-kart in it.
I love the gesticulations from the parents on the sidelines there. Yeah. Go on, hurry up. Yeah, we're going as fast as we can. I can assure everybody out there on the sidelines. Yes. This is a great race. Once again, Tandy moves onto the rear bumper. A little bit of a different opinion of line into Spoon as Tandy with his competitors, Ollie West. Ollie West in the green helmet, losing out a little bit there down the hill towards the carousel. And Tandy, if anything, Henry, he's catching Ralph Martin, and he's catching him, and he's learnt so much. He learnt so much in round 1 at Wilton Mill, and you can see here he is leading from pole position, and now following in second place, having lost that position, having lost that lead. Here he is coming back at him. He's like a sponge. That these kids are like sponges.
Absolutely, they're just soaking up, there's much information every time they hit the track, so we can see big jumps in competitiveness. Now, also then you see, and quite often you see the driver, learns how to drive quickly, but then they've got to learn how to race quickly, because the two are not necessarily, the same thing. You can do 1 lap very quickly, but then you've got to do 8 laps.
And racing very well indeed has gone Oliver Woodhall, who did go by Ollie West, but Ollie West has gotten back. So Ollie West behind these two, back into third. If you'd looked away and then looked back, you would have thought there's nothing changed. However, Junior Wright has gone ahead of Oliver Woodhall, who got into third place, but now finds himself in 5th. This is how tight these races are.
Yes, somebody at the top of the hill was exploring the scenery, but what the drivers, this pack here, 3rd, 4th and 5th, they need to work together. They were just before half distance. We've still got 4 minutes to go. Now that's going to give Junior Wright in that 11 kart, the second kart on your screen, a great chance to make a move, because Ollie West ran wide. And now, is that the RCE logo on the number 11 kart of Junior Wright? That's the Richardson Chassis Engineering team. A team that, British team, they do a lot of short oval stuff, and have just moved into karting, manufacturing their own chassis and a few bits and bobs.
Well, that's who supports Felix as well.
Right.
Okay, connections with Nick. Nick comes from a short oval background.
Right, yes. The Richardson Chassis Engineering team broke out onto the national scene about 18 months ago, and it's great to see, again, variety of chassis, different manufacturers, different brands, all here. Which is good. Variety is the spice of life. You don't want just one chassis manufacturer dominating everything.
No, that's called British Formula 3 back in the day, wasn't it?
Yeah, if you're not in a Dallara, then you're not, or a Reynard, or over time it was a Rolt, and then it was a Reynard. Yes. No, it's nothing at all.
No, yeah, no, whatever it is now, I don't no idea. Felix Tandy still behind Ralph Martin as they cross the line. This is the battle for third, though. The green helmet of Ollie West now has Junior Wright still with him, and Oliver Woodhall, who did drop back from that third place to fifth. We've got a back marker becoming involved as well. The two leaders have gotten by on Dragon Straight, so that won't cause any problems there, Henry. But there's the third, fourth and fifth also. No problems there, and they stay together. If anything, are those three catching those two ahead of them?
They are, very slightly, and that's something I've been impressed with both Ralph Martin and Felix Tandy. The temptation to just go and race and battle with each other is huge at this age, but they've stayed nose to tail, and now the second group are West and Wright are slowly inching towards them. They are catching them, but not at a great. They're not catching them in leaps and bounds.
Yeah, but
they will now.
They are now.
In the slipstream.
Yes. Here we go. So the 2-cart battle for the lead has very quickly become a 4-cart battle. Well, 4.5 carts, because we're not going to discount Oliver Woodhall, who's almost on the rear bumper of that number 11 Junior Wright. Here they go then, all four. Felix Tandy's been in the wheel tracks, absolutely in the slipstream of Ralph Martin. Each time they've gone up the Dragon Straight, up the hill towards Spoon, looking very, very like he's just taunting us with that move. But no, through Spoon, Ralph Martin has the momentum, and he has speed through that corner, down the hill, plunging downhill. That's quite a drop there into the carousel. It flattens out as they go through the turn there, through the left-hander. That's turn 6, which leads into turn 7, another right-hander, so short straight, then turn 7, and then this is the Devil's Elbow.
Yep.
And to right and left. Oh, Tandy. Was that Tandy sliding wide there?
That was West making a committed move on Tandy and then realising at the last minute that it wasn't going to work, and just a little bit of, side-by-side brushing.
Yes, wheel banging.
Wheel banging, and but I was going to say that the number 11 cart of Junior Wright is looking particularly racy. A couple of times on that last lap, he sort of feigned a half move, but we've got more than a half move. We've got a full move, and it's round the outside.
Incredible.
Goes Felix Tandy. They're 3 wide up the hill.
Now this might not pay off for him if he's not careful. He does have to slot back in behind Ralph Martin. But behind Tandy, everybody's tripping over. Woodhall's back into it. Woodhall's back into 4th. Defensive driving for Ralph Martin down towards the carousel. Felix Tandy having to slot in behind. If he's not careful, Ollie West's going to have that second place. The green helmet of Ollie West is the cart in 3rd place there. But no change. If you looked away, there is no change. Only for 4th. Oh, and Ollie West down the inside of both of them. And he comes together. He's on the rear bumper now of Felix Tandy, who goes very wide indeed and comes back into 3rd. But that was Felix Tandy leading for a while there, and back into that first place has gone Ralph Martin.
Yeah, Ralph, we went from first to third to first.
Lead changes there.
First to third to first in 3 corners, and now it's anyone's guess. We're on the final lap, so Martin will try and hug the white line as much as possible. Tandy once again going to the outside as the sun, yes, you did read that right, the sun begins to set here at Glenagorse, and there's West into the lead.
Yes, and he took Tandy with him, but just slotting in behind has gone Ralph Martin, so Ollie West is now leading. Tandy 2nd, Ralph Martin now 3rd, round the outside of Tandy there, not quite, turn 6. They're still 1st, 2nd and 3rd. West, Tandy and Martin is the order. That's not how they cross the line, but it's not what they're going to be by the time they get back round to the checkered flag, as Tandy goes through the inside and takes the lead in very fine style. They're already out of the compression, heading down to the final turn. It's going to be Felix Tandy who's going to take this heat win in fine style, but who's going to be for 2nd place? They're 3 wide across the line for 2nd place, and it went the way of Ralph Martin. Ralph Martin takes it by 7 thousandths of a second from Ollie West in 3rd, who's 700ths of a second ahead of Oliver Woodhall.